Chapter 1047. A loud explosion echoed in the sky. Debbie nailed Wilbur's legs to the ground with that attack. The earth cracked wide open. But Debbie did not make it past Wilbur, which meant her shadow did not reach Wilbur. However, she did not mind. She felt like she was at an advantage. She immediately started a new round of attacks. The death scythe formed shadows as the attacks rained down on Wilbur. He leaped from the ground and backed away as he fought. He did not allow her shadow to touch his feet. He did not have his spiritual energy, but he was still terrifyingly powerful. His power was terrifying when he unleashed all his dragon power. Debbie unleashed a terrifying and ultimate spell, but Wilbur could still fight her with the mysterious godly training form and his terrifying power. Debbie forced Wilbur to keep backing away with her attacks, but she did not harm Wilbur. She was finally furious after a few minutes. She suddenly backed away for more than 10 meters after a crazy combo of attacks, then looked at Wilbur coldly. The blood-red eyes of the huge fetus stared at Wilbur. It emitted a terrifying aura. "You're full of surprises," laughed Debbie. Wilbur was silent in return. He looked at Debbie and the dark underlord behind her. His second consciousness was working fast to analyze what he saw. The spiritual flames on Debbie instantly heightened. The massive dark underlord started to rise. It blocked out most of the sunlight. Wilbur could not react in time. He was covered in shadows. He was taken aback, but he realized his movements were not restricted. There was nothing wrong with his body. Like nothing happened. However, Debbie was laughing maniacally. She raised the death scythe high in the sky and spun it around like a windmill. "Have a taste of your own blood, Wilbur Penn. It must be very sweet." Debbie laughed maniacally and slashed her own thigh with her death scythe. Blood splattered everywhere. He could not believe that she pierced her own thigh. Meanwhile, a hole appeared on his thigh too. Blood also splattered everywhere. Wilbur looked troubled, and he squinted in pain. Debbie laughed and pulled out her death scythe. Her wound healed at a remarkable speed. However, Wilbur was still bleeding out. That was the first time Wilbur got injured. Debbie was not too powerful, but her domain was too creepy and unpredictable. She looked at the wound on Wilbur and said in a maniacal tone, "Enjoy what it feels like to die. That's my blessing to you." Then, Debbie stabbed her other leg. The same wound appeared on his leg. Her wound healed quickly, but his wound remained. The cooks were terrified by her terrifying ability. They were limp from afar and their faces were white as sheets. It was too terrifying for them. The second consciousness finally gave Wilbur a feedback message at that moment.